Good afternoon, welcome to the sale of this factory conversion Devon Sunrise Hiace Toyota camper van. It's a 2.4 diesel, non-turbo, on an end plate. I think it's 1995, 96. And this has just been used as a camper, it hasn't been used as a second car. As you can see, it's in lovely condition. It hasn't been welded up and undersealed. Just let me zoom in quickly here. If you just look under the arches, you can see it has got a name, this green paint. I think I found it somewhere when I've done the HPI check before we bought it. So yeah, she's just solid, she's lovely. I mean, the arches are solid, there's no rust, there's no welding and, you know, underseal hiding nothing. It's a genuine camper that was used. One of the owners, who had it for 23 years down in Cornwall, he had the camper van stored in a barn. He was obviously quite wealthy because he had a tractor collection of about 50 vintage tractors as well, which he insisted on showing me. So this is the pop top, which means you can go in to any car park without worrying about clouting it. Obviously you have to put that down, don't leave it up when you drive along either. It's got the double bed in the back rather than the two single beds, which I prefer personally. I'm well over 6 foot and I can sleep in there okay. The bed comes, when it folds down, very easily, and it comes right to the fridge here, just to here. So, you know, I'd say it's probably pretty much a 6 foot bed, and no one sleeps straight, you know, like a hairpin, do they? So yeah, there we go. So I'll just take you inside. It's got nice, particularly nice interior in here as well, and the seats, there's a couple of little marks. I mean, it's 27, 28 years old, but they're a nice material, very soft as well. And my son actually, we've done a recent trip all around North Wales, and my son remarked on how soft the seats were. He was in the back with that seat belt on. Yeah, I mean, it's as you can see, it's got the proper Zig unit. It's all working. Propex heating, I believe, was serviced by the previous owner. That's just down there. In there, I think you can see it somewhere. Probably not now, I've said, but that's where it's tucked away. Oh, you can see the vent from it. You've got your fridge, your freeway fridge there, which is off the 12 volt. If you're on a site, you obviously hook it up to the 240 once you plug in your lead. I'll show you that in a minute. And it's got gas as well, so basically you can use it in any of those three configurations. If you're driving along, mobile touring as they call it, on the Zig unit, you'd switch it to the battery, where that battery sign is, the red one, and then as soon as you stop, switch that off. We just leave it closed. If you leave it closed and you're only stopping for an hour, the fridge will retain the coldness. You don't need to put the gas on, but if it was particularly hot, you would then, while you leave it, switch the gas on ticking over low just to keep it cold, and then back onto the 12 volt when you're traveling along. And if you reach a site, you then put it on the 240, which is the green one, and plug the van in. And then you've got a socket here as well, obviously, which you could use to boil your kettle or run a TV or whatever if you wanted to. Yeah, there's a wardrobe here, which is not massive. Obviously it is a camper van, but you can get a couple of 2 or 3 shirts in there and a couple of coats. Also in there, you can see just underneath that red thing, there's the new leisure battery, which has also recently been replaced, so that's good to go. There's no rips or tears or leaks in the pop top, so it's in remarkable condition. You've got 2 lights in here that run off. I'll just show you that. You'd obviously turn on your 12 volt, which is there, and then you just pop that and on comes your light. And the other one, the switch is there. Okay, lovely. So that's that. Let me just take you outside the van. There's your table. That can easily come up. I mean, it can swivel also if you want to swivel it round. The table can swivel around that way. But obviously for 2 of you, just turn the table round. It just pulls out, and that pole and that is stored just behind the driver's seat. While I'm talking about behind the driver's seat, we have the jack, wheel brace, etc. is stored under the driver's seat there. You can probably just see it. Now if you don't want it, you don't have to take it, but there is a porta potty which I picked up new when I bought the camper. That's there. That's what we do. We strap it round with a bungee like that, because that's nice and firm. You don't want that going flying as you go around the corner and anything spilling out nastily into the van. So yeah, it's Electrolux freeway ignition, fridge. You've got a little grill there as well under there. There's your grill. So if you want to do a bit of toast, we've done some mackerel on there as well, but obviously that needs to be cleaned out afterwards. This is your 2-ring hob, pretty standard stuff, and here is your sink. Just turn that on. I think you'll find that there's the water running. Lovely, and that just drains. There's no storage tank here, no waste storage tank. So what you're meant to do is a little pipe underneath the van. You're meant to put a sort of a pot or something under there, like a, you know, like an oil drum or something, and put the hose into that, an empty oil drum obviously, and just store that water safely and then dispose of it safely. If you're parking on a site somewhere, you know, or by a bit of wild camping in the road and there's a drain, it's quite fine just to let it go straight down there. So there you go. So that's that. Yeah, that do remember not to leave this up, just the little clip which is there, and just lower her down into that position, and then put that back over the sink. And also importantly, when you're done with the 12 volt, switch it off here, because that will drain the battery. Alright. Someone just decided to go through there. Oh dear. Okay, that's all right, no problems. I just wondered what was going on there. So yeah, so the outside of the van, as you can see, there's no rips or tears in the fabric. There's no leaks there at all. So it's all good to go. I'll just show you this. I have got some photos, but I'll just show you in the back. There's your original livery and stickers there. Hiace Sunrise. Now there's your LPG. If I just lift that up, that just pops back neatly. There's a special anti-heat thing there to protect that. I've just purchased a brand new spare bottle there. That's a full one of camping gas. It's a 907 bottle, and there's another one that's got gas in as well. But at the moment, we're just sort of running what's there. So there's a spare brand new bottle. Obviously that comes with a van, and also we bought a brand new extra long 240 volt hookup cable. So if you go on a campsite, there you go. Now this is just your bed here. This is the end section here. You've got this section here, and obviously the rest of it just folds out. I can show you that if you do come and view the van, I can show you that, how easy that is to put up. Importantly also, unlike some of these modern camper vans, these cushions can all be taken out, and then you put the wooden bed, it's wooden by the way, it's literally a nicer flatbed in the back there. If you wanted to move a wardrobe or something like that, it's got multiple uses, this van. So it's quite handy for that as well, you know. Although we haven't used it for that, you could use it for that. The curtains were replaced by the lovely lady who last owned this camper with her husband. The only reason they sold it because they loved camping so much they've upgraded to a bigger vehicle. So she was very handy. As you can see, she made some lovely curtains in a nice material there. Flowery material. I don't think that's marijuana plant, but it looks a bit cool, whatever it is. So yeah, that matches the green of the camper, which is quite nice. So she's obviously very creative and handy with a needle and thread and cotton. So that's that. So other things that I think they done, I remember they put that digital stereo in. That's in there. And also, I think there was a fault with the cigarette lighter, which is handy. Not for no one's ever smoked in here, but it's handy to plug in, you know, your iPhones for charging your phones, etc. The little compass been put on there, which is another little thing to improve the vehicle. This is the exhaust here from your hob, and the exhaust from the fridge. This is your top up for your water this side. There's a separate key to that, so you can't mix up fuel and water. You know, obviously you wouldn't want to do that. But it does have a sticker there, which is handy as well. Tyres are all very good on this. good strong tyres on here. They are wheel trims, not alloys, but they were recently replaced also. As you can see, it's got a good set of tyres. I don't think really you need to spend anything on this vehicle. You can literally just get in it and go. You know, it's good to go. You know, you've got a side pocket there, not on the other door unfortunately. A little cup holder that's been put in there, which is handy as you're travelling along. Someone's put a little sign on there, which is handy. Just checking the mileage, it's actually less than I thought. It's 77,908 at the moment. Oh look, that 630 is the last trip we just did when we went up to Snowdonia, and we met our son at Snowdonia. We did some climbing there and then drove back to Aberystwyth, visit Port Merion on the way and a few other places. So it was a really nice weekend. Arrived home about 10:30 then on a Sunday evening. So nice weekend, couple of nights camping there. We actually wild camped there, which I know you're not meant to, provided you don't leave any rubbish. You know, the worst that's going to happen, you just get moved along. So ensure roof is secured before driving off. Please do that. If you don't buy this camper, make sure you don't do it with the camper that you have got. It's common sense really, but very easy to do. You know, even if the wind catches it, it could damage that. So that's that. Like I said, it's had the 2 new batteries. I'll just show you this. If you start this vehicle, obviously being diesel, there's the old glow plug light there. That goes out, just turn the key and no way it goes. And it just starts. There's your pull just there. Just gonna show you that because it really is a reliable. I mean, I wouldn't think twice about jumping in this and driving, you know, all across Europe. It really is that reliable. There you go. 2 minutes, bear with me. Cam up was done at Stephen Eagle Toyota main dealership in St Albans, along with the rear axle oil, gearbox oil and engine oil change. I think it's been changed once since then, the engine oil that is. So there's proper invoices for all this work. Just to show you here briefly, if you look on the top of there, you can see the date. It looks like it was done around the 2nd of September 2021. So that's been done. You see that the oil filter there. And there's the 2 new Volta batteries as well. So it looks like it's 28 kgs. 2800 kgs, should I say. So yeah, as you can see, there's no rot on this van that I can find anywhere. The body on it is absolutely lovely. There's a great big radiator there. It really is a straight vehicle. It belies its age, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, so just a quick walk round again. To get a feel for this here, there's the sunrise sticker, still complete there. He's just flown off now, that isn't a mark on there. This is where you would plug in your 240 hookup. That just clicks down there. You've got a nice big hefty pair of hinges here that actually are adjustable. You can spin that and you can adjust to raise up the height of the tailgate. If you're tall like me, you want it as high as possible, so you don't want to be walking along and just belting your head, especially on a sharp corner like that. So it is risen up to the highest position at the moment, but for someone smaller, they might not be able to reach that there, but you know, you'd have to be Ronnie Corbett, I think. So there you go. So that's that. So let's just put that down. That's very handy if you're parking the vehicle on the right side, the driver to the pavement, and you need to get out of the vehicle this side or vice versa. The sliding door is a good way because that door's not being opened into oncoming traffic, and you can safely get out between vehicles that way quite easily. So yeah, it's very well thought out, like a lot of these campers are, but very similar to a Volkswagen T4, but like I said, you don't really get the issues with rust so much on these. They all seem to be rotten and of this age and welded up. You know, if you look at the MOT VOSA history on this, you won't find any mention of rust or many advisories at all, because it was always well looked after and had money spent on it. And that's what we've done while we've had it, and the previous owner as well continued that. We've got a big box file of history, including every single MOT, loads of invoices, the ones for the cam belt, etc., recently done in 2021. I think it's a 10-year interval, or certainly 8 years, so that doesn't need to be worried about. But if you don't buy this camper, make sure the cam belt's been done on one of these or a V-dub, because if they go, yeah, I think it can bend the valves and total the engine. So if you're interested, yeah, just please message me. If you want to come and have a drive out in it, that's great. You know, if there's any questions I haven't answered or anything I've missed, just let me know, and I'll be happy to answer. Thank you very much. Cheers for your time. Thank you. Bye.